Welcome back. Yesterday, Yvette Cooper, the Shadow Home Secretary, was on fire yet again. During an Opposition Day debate, a Conservative backbencher tried to be clever by stating she'd raised an urgent question complaining about the Napier Army barracks being used to house refugees a year ago, and now she's complaining about Manston. Now, the question is a good one, if he'd done his homework. Cooper, on the other hand, is on top of a brief and slaps him back down. Here, have a watch.
I will give way to the honourable member.
The Right Honourable Lady for giving way. If my memory serves me correctly, the Right Honourable Lady actually brought an urgent question to this place about a year ago opposing the use of Napier Army barracks for those who enter this country illegally. She's just said then she also opposes costly hotels. Just where would the Right Honourable Lady accommodate those who have entered our country illegally?
And perhaps the honourable member would recall that what happened at Napier was that the government ended up with a huge outbreak of over 200 COVID cases at the height of a COVID crisis because they were failing to follow basic public health rules and requirements. And to be honest, an incident which the Home Office does not seem to have learnt from again, as we have had outbreaks of diphtheria, of MRSA and of scabies at Manston too. And frankly, if the Home Office and the government wants to properly solve this, they need to address the total collapse in decision-making. Just 14,000 decisions being made a year, half the number that were decided just 5 or 6 years ago. A huge backlog that has increased as a result of government legislation that has added to the bureaucracy and that has made those delays much worse.
Since we left the European Union, the channel crossings have increased. In 2020 there was 8,404, and as of November this year there's been over 40,000. When in the EU, we were part of the Dublin Agreement. This meant refugees and asylum seekers could be returned to the first safe country within the EU that they passed through. However, leaving the EU means that we're no longer in the Dublin Agreement, and therefore we cannot do this anymore. The only way to solve this problem is either to increase the processing, at which 70 to 80% of all those who've come across have been granted to stay, or set up a processing centre in France, something the French have actually offered to do, yet the government have refused. The channel crossings are not the only thing that we've got to deal with at the moment. The autumn budget is coming, and it looks like more spending cuts are on the way. See how many times Oliver Dowden says the words difficult decisions in this video that's on the screen now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.